the most powerful questions that you can ask yourself for a self-confidence. That is what I'm going to be talking about today in this video. But first and foremost, hi, my name is Ania Makowska, and on this channel I help you to grow your awareness and narrow your focus so you can align your actions with your desires and build the life you want to live. On this channel, I talk about spirituality and personal development. Back to the most powerful, in my opinion, questions you can ask yourself to grow your self-confidence. You've maybe seen a previous video about self-confidence. If you didn't, the link is somewhere in the comments or in the description of this video, right? The first and the most important questions are all about yourself. You cannot, in my opinion, become truly self-confident if you do not know yourself. So first one is, what gives me wings? What makes me happy? You know, those kind of lights. And I'm talking about physical actions. What you can go back to the past and look at yourself as a child. What was making you happy? What were you doing, but you were not really thinking of it, that you love it, but you were doing quite often or every now and then, but you know, you really enjoyed it. And I'll be honest with you, in my case, what I was doing, I was actually sitting my dog on the chair, like sitting on her back, right? And I was recording an interviews with myself. He was, or sorry, she, the dog was, she was the reporter. So actually, I always thought it was just the interviews that, you know, I was on the vision or I was in the radio, but actually, you know what, that was me. I'm just getting that back now to me. So, and for many, many years, I hated public speaking and I hated videos and I hated myself on the pictures. And I completely forgotten about that when I started digging into my past, what I like to do and, you know, how I liked it to act and everything. That came true. Now here we go. You watching me. I'm not making any interview yet, but who knows? Anyway, so first and foremost, ask yourself, what gives you wings? What really, really makes you happy? So I will continue with that question because this is a super important question. The second thing was, I've noticed in my life that when I looked back, I wasn't aware of it when I was doing that, right? I was actually teaching. I was actually helping my friends to understand things that they couldn't understand. And I did understood them. 1, 2, or actually, that was 2. And the third one for me was, wasn't even for me, I think. I find out after years. People loved coming to me with their problems and struggles. They loved it. Even in my worst days when I wasn't behaving, you know, I don't know what to say. Anyway, so even on my worst days, people still loved coming to me, and they've told me that only a few years ago, believe it or not. So what I'm saying is, there is a hint for you. You can actually ask people from your past, what do they think? This is not a question for to yourself, but you can use that, right? What do they think about you? What do they think you were good at? What do they think, you know, you've done very well? And now, it's not up to opinion to others. It's only we're going by our heart, but those opinions can lead you to realizations. Because sometimes we're not able to see what others see until they tell us something, open our eyes, and then we're like, oh yeah, that was me literally with my friends talking 5 years ago. And they told me, it's like, why, are you serious? It's like, when I started doing coaching and stuff, and I was like, I know, surprise, isn't it? You're like, what? Are you serious? No, you are always the one who, when we had a problem, was like, oh, let's go to Makoska, you know? Which I was like, oh my God, that was so good. Okay, they were late, but you can ask them and then you can realize it earlier, if you know what I mean. So then when you know what gives you wings, what makes you really, really happy, ask yourself the second question. The second question is, what am I good at? What am I feeling I am good at? And you know what? No one else can change your mind. So sometimes we do have those doubts, right? Let's say, it's like, oh yeah, I'm good in writing, but then the doubts gonna start coming into your mind. It's like, who will read my stuff? Like, you know, or oh, I'm not such a good reader. Well, will I, you know, publish the book or things like that? They can come in, but forget about all those doubts. You're just doing the exercise. You're not committing to anything. You're not committing to writing a book. So if you think you are good in writing, write that down. Of course, yes, I mentioned at the beginning, you have to write them down. You have to write down those answers, because you're going to ask yourself a few times the same questions, right? So the next one is, when you know what gives you wings, well, if you know what you're good at, ask yourself, have I ever failed or had a fear when I was doing this? So let's say when I was recording myself and the dog interview, I know, I was happy and I was bubbly and I loved it and it was beautiful, whatever. And, you know, I was very young. Let's say I was, I don't know, 9, 10. And I showed that recording to a friend who said, silly, you know, not good, like, whatever. Boom, failure. Next time when I was gonna sit out on the front of camera, or maybe, you know, recording an interview, the fear will hit. Is it gonna be good? Would people like it or not? You know? That will happen to me. That's what kept me stuck for years and years and years, until I've asked myself that question. Did I had a failure or a fear around the actions I've been taking that time that made me very, very happy? And that, boom. You cannot win with the fear. You're not fighting with the fear. No, let's be clear. But you cannot get over the fear or failure until you recognize it and you accept it. And the most beautiful thing is, when you accept it, that happened in the past, has nothing to do with you right now. Now you're an adult and you can choose and pick whatever you want, right? And you can choose and pick to do not care about anyone's opinion. And I'm not saying that from an ego point. Like, I literally don't care if people like those videos or they don't. I only care if I'm giving enough value for someone to move forward towards their desires. That's what I care about when I create those videos. And that's what gives me wings. Teaching people, showing people that they can, you know? So what is it for you? Did you have that failure? Did you have that fear? So those 3 powerful questions, they are to start with, right? When you ask those questions to yourself for about, let's say, 3 weeks, every day, every second day, there's no pressure. Like, you know, make it nice and light, make it nice and easy. Then ask yourself, what would I love in my life to happen? Combine then one with the other and move towards the action. When you have those 3 questions sorted, I guarantee you the only 3 questions, and they will move you forward big, big time. Of course, then we'll be working on, faith and, building your self image, which is different than the confidence. Confidence is a part of the self image, of self identity, right? But those questions, when you ask them, get back to me and tell me. Does that make sense? Love you loads, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time working on yourself, and let me know how you feel about new you that is coming to life. Bye for now.